Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ask Coffee Online. My name is Chef Caesar. Today I'm going to be making for you some lobster raviolis. These are very popular, and you can, you're going to see how easy it is to make them. I'm going to use some wonton wrappers as my pasta. But if you guys have a pasta machine at home, if you want to, make the pasta from scratch, that's fine too. The reason I'm doing this just because, just in case some of you don't have a pasta machine, you can still make this. You can pick some of this already made up, and they're really easy to use. So I just want to, tell you that. That's the reason why I'm doing that. But let's get going here. I got all my ingredients ready to go, my lobster pieces. I'm using some lobster tails, but if you're able to find some lobster pieces frozen, they're cheaper. This is what we use in the restaurant. We use like big bags because they're less money. But if you can always find some lobster tails and you can cut them up yourself. I got 2 lobster tails here, about 10 ounces of meat. You can also use some shrimp if you want, or claw meat from a lobster, whatever you want, or even it's something different. Like other seafood products. But again, today I'm going to concentrate on this. Let's start by sautéing some of our ingredients here. Got some olive oil here. I got some shallots I'm going to be using. Some fresh garlic. I got some herbs. I got some tarragon, some chives, and some fresh Italian parsley. So I'm going to be using some fresh herbs here to make my filling. I'm also going to be using some mascarpone cheese. This is the cheese that's normally used to make tiramisu, but it's nice and creamy. It's similar to a cream cheese. It's more richer, and it's not as thick, but again, it's really very rich and creamy, and it makes a good filling for the raviolis as well. So I got I'm gonna saute some shallots here. And feel free to ask questions along the way. I like when you guys ask questions. Don't be quiet, okay? So if we're going to sweat the shallots, you don't want to brown them too much. Be careful. Just keep the heat on low. You would just want to sweat them to bring out the flavor and soften up the shallots too. So, okay. Look at that. Now you don't have to buy this raviolis at the store. You can make them yourself at home, and it's going to be even better than the ones you buy. So, fresh, homemade. And you can also freeze them if you want to use them later on. Once you got them made, you can freeze them and then use them as you need them. So I got my garlic in there too. Be careful. You don't want to burn the garlic because it has a bitter taste when you burn it. So you want to really just sweat the shallots and the garlic here. Okay. It smells really nice now here. Okay, now I'm going to deglaze my pan with some sherry wine here. Okay.
Chef, where do you buy sherry wine at? I can never seem to find it.
Really? I bought this at Jewel. Do you have a Jewel by you?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Really? Well, any liquor store should have it.
Okay.
So I think
Would you look in the wine section, or would you look in the
no, this is on the wine section.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should be able to get it. I can find it here everywhere pretty much.
Okay. Well, I've never actually looked for it in a liquor store, so I'll try that.
Yeah, it's nice and sweet. It makes a nice addition, there's some really expensive sherries for to drink, but this is more like a cooking wine. So you want to get a cooking wine. It's less expensive. I probably pay like $10 for the bottle, so it's not very much. But there's some. Go ahead.
Sorry. Does it go bad like normal wine, or are you able to just?
It has a little longer shelf life. Yeah, you can keep it a little longer than the regular drinking wine.
Like how long do you think? Like a week?
Probably a week. A little more than a week, I would say. Because this one has a lot of sugar, so it's going to takes a little longer. Once you open it, and it goes for a while. Especially if you keep it in the refrigerator, it's going to last even longer.
Okay.
Okay, now I got my liquid here. I'm going to put my lobster pieces to poach them. Okay. Okay, so we're going to poach this lobster for a few minutes here. I don't want to cook them all the way. Okay. I'm also gonna add a little lemon zest here. Go. Okay, now we got our lobster poach in here. You don't only want to do it for a couple minutes. You don't want to cook it all the way. So I'm gonna shut this off, and I'm gonna take it out of here. And I got some ice. I'm gonna cool it down here a little bit. Okay. And we're gonna save this liquid. I'm gonna thicken up the liquid a little bit to be part of the sauce, because there's a lot of flavor in there. All the liquid that comes out of the lobsters is very, tasty. So you don't want to throw that away. So you just want to scoop up the meat and kind of cool it off. Okay. There you go. So I'm gonna put this to the side over here real quick. And I got my lobster here. Yes, we have a question, I believe. The question was, can you use something other than sherry? Yes, you can. You want to use some white wine, or some port wine would be good too. So you can use another wine as well. Yes. Okay, now I'm gonna make a little roux to thicken up my my sauce that I got over here. Okay. Might have a little too much. Got some flour here. A little too much butter. Okay. The process is very quick and easy to make. It takes a little longer to cool down. Like I said, this the filling, but once you get it done, it's really easy. So we're gonna make a roux here real quick. Turn it nice and golden here. When I add the rest of the liquid here.
Good morning, Chef.
Hey, good morning.
I was wondering, does the lobster cook like shrimp?
Yes, it does. It does. It cooks like shrimp, so you don't want to overcook it. Once it cooks too much, it's gonna be too dry. So you want to be careful when you're cooking seafood like that.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got our. I'm gonna put this back here to cool off with the rest of the lobster pieces here. Okay. Before we add to the cheese, okay, it's gonna be our filling here. Now I'm gonna put it in a little bigger bowl, so it cools down quicker. I'm also going to add some water. If you add some cold water to your ice, it's going to speed up the cooling process. And when it starts to melt, it's going to cool down much quicker here. So I want to cool this down all the way before I add my cheese. Otherwise, the cheese is going to start to melt. So this is going to go fast. Don't worry. In the meantime, I'm going to start making some. I'm going to put some water. I'm going to cook my ravioli. So I'm going to put some water going because making the ravioli is very fast. So I'm going to start some of my water here. You always want to put some salt too. Okay, we're going to get it going here. And now I got my lobster with the sauce here. As you can see, it's cooling down very quick. You can tell the bottom of the pan is kind of sticking because of the butter. When it cools down, it kind of solidifies, but you want to keep mixing this. Okay. And you don't have to do it like this at home. If you want to, put it in a little sheet pan, put it in the cooler, and then, wait so it cools down by itself, that's fine. But the reason I'm doing this because, we're in a time crunch here, so we don't want to sit here and wait if I put this in the freezer, so. Okay, let's see. I also made some, for this, I made some pesto sauce I'm going to use. And a little sun-dried tomato oil that I got here. But you can use whatever sauce you want. Once you have the raviolis, there's a lot of different sauces that go with that. But I don't want to be too heavy, so I decided to do a pesto and a little sun-dried tomato oil here. I'm going to plate the raviolis with. But you can do a cream sauce if you like too. So it's whatever you want to do, that's fine. As you can see, it's very...
Chef, how do you make the sun-dried tomato oil? Do you just puree it?
Yeah, you take some sun-dried tomatoes. If you buy the ones, the dry sun-dried tomatoes, you want to put them in some hot water to soften them down a little bit. If you buy the ones in the oil, there's some that come in a little oil in a jar. You just puree those with some olive oil, add some salt and pepper, and that's how I got it done.
Okay.
Yeah. You can also make a nice sun-dried tomato pesto sauce. I don't know if you ever tried it, but it's really good. You follow the same process as you do to make the basil pesto, but instead of using basil, use sun-dried tomatoes, and it's really tasty. So this is getting really cold now. Before I add the cheese, I'm going to make sure it's cool enough. I also want to taste it. I want to make sure it has enough salt in here. Very good. You can taste the sherry in there. Very nice. Okay, now I'm gonna add some of this mascarpone cheese I got here. Go. As you guys can see, this is very easy. If you guys want to use shrimp, like I said before, that's fine. Sometimes lobster is hard to find. It might be too pricey too, but you guys can also use shrimp as well. Okay. So you want to combine cheese with the rest of the mixture really well. There you go. This is good enough. So you can see, the ice bath really works great. Put it aside here. Now we're ready to fill our raviolis at this point. And when you're doing this, you want to work in batches in case you don't want the wontons to dry up too quick. So lay them here like this. And like I said before, if you guys want to make, if you have a pasta machine at home, you want to make, the pasta from scratch, feel free. It's fine. I'm doing this because some of you might not have a pasta machine. You don't want to go through all the trouble, and you can still, make them. Okay, now we're gonna got my pasta laid out here. So we're gonna add a little spoonful here in the center. And you really, when you make this, when you seal them, you want to squeeze all the air out of there. Otherwise, the reason they open up sometimes because there might be some air trap inside. When you put them in the water, the air is going to heat up. It's got to go somewhere, so it's going to open up, and that's why they open up sometimes. So you want to be careful. You want to really, squeeze the air out of there when you seal them. Okay, so we got a little pile here in the center. Now I'm gonna brush the sides with some little water so we can seal them. Okay. I got a little pastry brush here. Okay. Very easy. Look at that. I mean, when you make the pasta at home, you're going to have like a big, long sheet, so it's actually easier to do because you're going to do a bunch more at once. Okay, I'm going to put this back here. Now we're going to top each one of them with another wonton on the top. Okay.
Do you think you could make this a little bit more southern and deep fry it?
Well, yeah, if you want to put, you can put some bread in on the wonton. I mean, on the raviolis, you can egg wash them and put some bread in there, and fry them. Yes, of course.
How long? I mean, would you just put it in the deep fryer, like?
Until they get golden brown. I mean, the filling is already cooked. You just want to cook the pasta, really.
Okay.
So. Okay. I might have put a little too much filling in some of this, so they're going to be really big. As you can see, it's very easy to do. Make them once you have the filling. To put them together is no big deal. And you really want to squeeze the air out of there as much as you can. That way when you cook them, they're not going to open up on you. Okay. I think I got to cut down less on the filling. It's pretty big, so. Okay. I'm going to put them to the side. I'm going to make another batch, and I'm going to cut them still. Okay. As you can see, they go really quick. Oops. My water's starting to boil now, so. Okay. Down a little bit. So. Okay. You can also use a little scoop if you have. If you don't use a spoon, you can use a scoop. That way you can make sure that all the filling it's the same amount. Okay, here you go. Look at this, very simple. So you want to squeeze it down like this to kind of squeeze the air out of there. This is what takes a little longer to put them together. The rest, as you can see, is very easy to, make the film and everything else. Okay. You want to make sure you squeeze all the air out of there. See that? Little bubbles. That way when they cook them, they're not going to open up on the...
Can you bake that, chef, with egg wash?
You can bake them too, yeah. Or you can fry them, like somebody else was asking if you can fry them. Yeah, you can put a little bread in and fry them as well. You've probably seen those already. So now I'm gonna cut them here. Okay. Got my little cutter here. This is just a cookie cutter. Okay. As you can see now, I got my ravioli. Okay, look at that. See? Very easy. You can also make them square. I got a little square cutter here if you want to do like a little wavy, little design. Should work. As you can see that. See? It's kind of nice that way. So you've seen those.
Chef, is there anything you could use the extra scraps that come off that for?
I mean, you can fry them up to like, use for like a dip or something. Or you can use them as like noodles in the soup or something. You can cook them and use them in a chicken noodle soup as well. So you can use them, yes.
Okay.
Look at that. See how easy it is? Okay, now I'm going to turn my water back on here. Look at that. Got some nice raviolis here. See, I'm not going to use this, so I'm going to discard that, but you guys can use it at home if you like. Okay. And at this point, you can always, you can freeze them and use them later on. If you freeze them, you want to put them like in a flat in a dish like this, so they don't stick together. So you want to individually quick freeze them, so they don't stick together. And once they're frozen, you can put them together in a bag, and they won't stick anymore. But you want to make sure that they don't stick together at first. Okay, now we're gonna. My water's cooking here. I'll drop them in there. And you don't want to put too many in the water, because sometimes they might stick together, so you want to be careful when you do that. So we got raviolis going here. You guys can see it's very easy to make them. And once they start coming to the top, they're done. I mean, the pasta is fresh, so they cook really quick. And the inside is already, have all the way cooked pretty much. So they only really needs to heat up. And you can also cook them from a frozen stage. It might take a little longer. So if you were to make this and freeze them and use them later on, you can take them out of the freezer and put them in the water, and you can cook them that way. But they're going to take a little longer when you do that. So as you can see, they're coming to the top really nice. And you don't want the water to be boiling too rapidly, so you want to just kind of simmer. Otherwise, they might open up too. If it's going to, it's boiling very fast, they might open up. So you want to have the water just simmer like it is. That way they stay close. Okay, now I got my plate here. Got a little tomatoes for garnish I'm going to use. And like I said, you can use any kind of sauce you want for your raviolis. I just made a pesto sauce because it's light and it goes really well with seafood too. But you can do whatever you want at home. Okay. As you can see, they're coming to the top. And one of these open ups, like I told you, if I don't squeeze the air out very good, sometimes they open, but these are done. See, those open up on me, so sometimes you really don't squeeze air out too good. That's gonna happen. It's okay. Now I'm gonna put some on my plate here. Put a little sauce down. Careful. This. So they're very delicate, very soft. So, and if you make your own pasta at home, you can leave the pasta a little thicker because this one is very thin. So you can roll like this if you like thin pasta, but you can leave it a little thicker. That way it's got a little more body, it's a little firmer. So I got my raviolis there. Tomatoes here. Got a little lemon zest here. Okay. Now I got a little balsamic vinegar here. Little droplets here. And then we're done. I mean, you can see this is very easy to do. Look at that. Any questions, anybody out there before we wrap this up? So I hope you guys enjoy this. And as you can see, it's very simple to do. So I really want you guys to try this. I got a little shaved Parmesan cheese here. I'm going to put in the middle. Okay.
Very nice, Chef.
Well, thank you so much. Anybody else would like to ask another question before we wrap it up?
That's dinner.
Yes, it is indeed. Yes, our lunch. Well, thank you everyone for being here this morning. I'm looking forward to see you guys in a couple of weeks again.
Chef,
Thanks, Chef.
could you
Yes.
fry them briefly like a pot sticker?
Oh, yes, you can. Yeah, if you want to fry them up, that's fine. Or you can deep fry this too. If you want to just saute them in a pan really quick, you can do that to give a little color as well. Yeah, that's fine. It will work too.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.